We will be working our math review problems. As noted here, on Monday we will do 1 through 4, Tuesday 5 through 8, Wednesday 9 through 12, and Thursday 13 through 16. So tonight we should be working problems 1 through 4. I'm going to do problem number 1 and problem number 3. There's probably not enough room to do it on the sheet, so you should need a piece of notebook paper. Looking at problem number 1, 3 1/2 plus 5 2/5. I will first turn each one of these mixed numbers into improper fractions. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 3 1/2 is equal to 7 over 2 plus 5 times 5 is 25 plus 2 is 27. 27 over 5. Well, we are adding, so we must have a common denominator. The question is, what is the common denominator between 2 and 5? Well, it's 10. Both 2 and 5 go into 10. One way to find a common denominator is simply multiply the two denominators together. That will always yield a common denominator. So, we want to make each one of these fractions over 10. Well, 2 times what gave 10? Times 5. Likewise, we must multiply 7 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 times what gave 10? Times 2. So it must also multiply 27 times 2. 27 times 2 is 54. Now that the denominators are equal, we can add the numerators together. The sum will have the same denominator, 10. Adding 35 plus 54 yields 89. Lastly, we will change this improper fraction into a mixed number. 10 goes into 89 8 whole times with 9 left over. 89 over 10 is equal to 8 9/10. The final step I will consider reasonableness. Well, 3 plus 5, only the whole number parts, is 8. And we have a fractional part here and a fractional part here. It makes sense that there would be a fractional part here. So 8 9/10 is at least in the ballpark, when in fact it is the correct sum. Next, we will look at problem number 3. Number 3 says 6 2/3 divide 8 1/4. Well, again, I will change both of these into a improper fraction. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20. Divide by 8 times 4 is 32 plus 1 is 33. Okay, we are dividing and we have fractions. When we're dividing and have fractions, we will remember that we will keep the first fraction the same, change the divide to a multiply, and flip over the second fraction. That is, we will multiply by the reciprocal. So this statement becomes 20 over 4, keep the same. Change, divide to a multiply. Inverting the second fraction, 4 over 33. When we're multiplying, we don't need a common denominator. We can simply multiply straight across. In this case, we can do some cancellation. Any numerator can cancel with any denominator. In this case, 4 divides with 4 to leave 1 in both position. Now our multiplication is easier. 20 times 1 is 20. 1 times 33 is 33. 20 over 33 is a little less than 1. It's more than a half, but it's less than 1. How do I know it's less than 1? Because when the denominator is larger than the numerator, the fraction is less than 1. How do I know it's more than 1/2? Well, half of 33 is 16 1/2, and 20 is greater than that. So this number is somewhere between 1/2 and 1. Is it reasonable? Well, our initial problem was 6 2/3 divided by 8 1/4. Well, simply dividing 6 by 8 is 3 over 4. which is also between 1/2 and 1. So 20 over 33 appears to be a reasonable answer. All right, since we have worked number 1, you can now work number 2, the subtraction. The addition and the subtraction are very similar. You will need common denominators. We have worked number 3. It will be very similar to number 4, this multiplication. We need no common denominator for number 4. So on number 2, we will need to find common denominator. Because with addition and subtraction, we need that common denominator. For number 4, no common denominator needed. Multiplication and division are easier procedures with